Hello, I'm back with another VR. This VR is for Rick at Rocket Rick J18, and he'd like us to select like 5 players from um, some eras that he divided baseball into, some players that we think we could collect, and we're going to have a live event next Wednesday, and we're going to discuss budget collecting, and um, I've come up with like 5 different players that could be collected during each era, and I'll show you a card from each era, and it's something we'll be talking about next Wednesday, how to collect on a budget without, um, you know, and still be able to collect Hall of Famers. So the first era is 2015 through 2023. 5 players I selected are Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna, Clayton Kershaw, and one that I can collect in Minnesota, even though he's with the Marlins now, Luis Arraez. This even happens to be his rookie card. Can't really focus it there, but he's someone that can still be collected rather cheaply, along with the other 5 players that I gave. 4 players, I mean. The next era, 2000 to 2015, we've got Albert Pujols, Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, Joe Mauer, and Miguel Cabrera. The card I'll show you from that era that's reasonable is the 1995 Topps Traded Mariano Rivera card. On deck, this card's still relatively cheap, $5-6 range at the most. The next era, 1985 through 2000, I have Ken Griffey Jr., Ricky Henderson, Randy Johnson, Kirby Puckett, and Tony Gwynn. And the card I selected for tonight's VR, Kirby Puckett. This is a 1985 Kirby Puckett cut from an All-Star Game program. You can still buy these programs for like $5. Cut the Kirby out and send it in to get it slabbed. It's really flimsy, so it's kind of a good idea that it is in a slab. So you could get this card, Kirby Puckett rookie card, still relatively cheap. The next era is 1970 through 1985. I've got Reggie Jackson, Johnny Bench, Steve Carlton, Rod Carew, and George Brett. For that group, I'll show the George Brett rookie card. This is a card that came in a collection that I bought a week and a half ago. I don't have a lot of money into it, but it fits good. I put it into my box that I have going that I like to rummage through. And George Brett is one of the key cards of the 70s. And the next era, 1955 through 1970. And that's a pretty strong era. It has Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, and Harmon Killebrew. And these are just players that I'm picking from that era. I'm sure other people will pick other players. These are players that I would like to collect from that era, and I do have cards from those players. But if you want to collect on a budget, here's a Mickey Mantle you can get for under $200. I think I paid $100 for the card and got it put in a slab. And that's a 1962 Mickey Mantle, whereas Topps card would be, you know, 2-3 times that. So the Nextera, we go back another 15 years. You got Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Jackie Robinson, Stan Musial, and Bob Feller. Those are the 5 players I selected from that era. And what I'm going to go with here is my 1949 Eureka Jackie Robinson. I believe I bought the whole set for $100 not too long ago. I think they're probably quadrupled in price since then. But this is a lot cheaper than buying. This is a 1949 Jackie Robinson, and it's a lot cheaper than going out and buying a 1949 Bowman or a 1949 Leaf Jackie Robinson. Nextera, 1925 through 1940. And this is the era that cards start getting expensive, even more so than the 40s and 50s. In this era, I have Babe Ruth, of course, Lou Gehrig, Hank Greenberg, Satchel Paige, and Josh Gibson, if he can ever find anything. So this one, here's my Satchel Paige autograph. I bought this before COVID. It's probably a couple $100, and then I got it authenticated. So I thought it looked pretty good when I bought it. So it came back authentic from PSA. It's just an example of something I could get from players that played from 25 to 40. I believe Satchel started in 1927 with the Birmingham Black Barons. Okay, 1910 through 1925. Here I selected Ty Cobb, Shoeless Joe Jackson, Walter Johnson, Jose Mendez, and Chief Bender, because he's the first Minnesota-born Hall of Famer. And here's an example of a card I got. It's not a playing era card, but it's a nice card of Walter Johnson, 1949 Leaf Premium. And Orlando at A Collector's Dream has several videos that give the story of this set. I actually show part of a box and the rest of the set. I recommend checking them out. But I'm going to go with that for Walter Johnson. The next era, 1887 through 1910. And players I selected from that era are Ed Delahanty, Cy Young, Dan Brothers, Mike King Kelly, and Christy Mathewson. And I've selected Mike King Kelly. He's right here. It's on the same team as Cap Anson, who is right there. But I select Kelly over Anson. Anson's the reason we had Jackie Robinson. So I'm going to go with Mike King Kelly, who I would collect, where Cap Anson I would not collect. So there he is with his big mustache. That's my selection for the early era, 1887 through 1910. And just want to thank Rick for coming up with this VR. It's kind of fun going through some baseball history, figuring out a few things, who you like, who you don't like, who you would collect. And check out Rocket Rick J18 on YouTube. He's got a lot of great baseball cards to look at. And that's what we're here for, to look at baseball cards. And don't forget to check out the live stream next Wednesday. We'll be talking more about this subject. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and have a great week.